Welcome back. This is World Talks coming to you live from Warsaw. I'm Jastrzębska. Here in Poland, extreme winter weather is causing widespread disruption. Heavy snow and strong winds are affecting traffic, and there are growing concerns about flooding along the lower stretches of the Vistula River. And Poland is not alone. Similar conditions are being felt across the region, with Baltic states such as Estonia reporting power outages, frozen water supplies, and disruptions to maritime traffic. To discuss what's driving this severe weather and what we can expect next, I'm joined by Eryk Kłopotowski, co-founder Accountability in Action. Good evening, sir. Delighted to have you with us. Thank you for joining.
Good evening. Thank you for having me tonight.
So we've seen snowstorms, freezing temperatures and travel chaos across several regions here in Poland. So what's really behind this wave of extreme winter weather?
Well, the thing is, I think we have sort of forgotten how winters look like in this part of the world for the last few years. And now the true winter is back. And the passengers and airlines and airport need to work together to actually try to understand that this is a perfectly natural and normal phenomenon. And this is something that we have to consider while planning our travels, as well as when giving our passengers our infrastructure and aircraft.
Mm-hmm. But if this winter is not actually harsher than normal, why does it feel this way? I mean, why are people so underprepared?
I think it's the amount of snow. It's simply the sheer amount of snow and the fact that it hasn't snowed this much and this bad for a very long time. The snowfall has not been noticed of this much snowfall has been noticed for a very long time in such a short period of time, and this had caught everybody unprepared, which should not be the case. Absolutely, this is especially when you focus on airports. This is something that should have been considered by airport operators.
Mm-hmm. But why are we seeing such sharp swings? I mean, from fairly mild weather to sudden deep freezes almost.
This is obviously the debate for climate specialists and experts, and I think when we see those changes and fluctuations in temperature and snowfall, I think this more extreme situations should make us be aware that we should be much better prepared for the upcoming season and the next seasons ahead of us.
Mm-hmm. So how much of this is actually due to natural weather patterns and sort of how much is being influenced by climate change potentially?
Oh, this is a very difficult question. And of course, I think it depends on the scientist you ask, and it depends on the research that you look at. But I think a certain cyclical events of more natural snowfall and more freezing conditions that are impacting us every so often is perfectly natural. But undeniably, the climate change is real, and a man-made climate change is absolutely a fact.
Mm-hmm. And we often hear about the polar vortex. Is that playing a role here?
I think there are, for today's situation, there are several big factors impacting the situation. These, as you have just reported, when it comes to Tallinn situation, we have not seen such a combination for a very long time of winds, chills, and several different factors. We have severe weather situations in the US as well. So all of those are absolutely impactful.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just basing it on my own research, but I wanted to ask you, can sort of warmer oceans really lead to colder winters on land?
The Gulf Stream and the situations in the stream in the oceans absolutely impacts the weather globally. Oceans do carry the biggest and the most significant factor in terms of influence on weather conditions on land.
So are we likely to see more extreme weather like this in the coming weeks?
I think we are, absolutely. I think we are to be prepared to more extreme situations. Which are placed very specifically in certain segments on various continents. This will be impacting hugely local travelers all over the world in a very specific, pinpointed places. So when traveling, we do need to take into account that we may encounter such situations and plan accordingly, especially come to the airports with certain patience and expectations that weather cannot be beat by the sheer will of the aircraft wanting to take off.
Okay, so what shall we do to be better prepared? I mean, we as individuals.
When it comes to traveling, I think patience is the key. As individuals, it's very hard to actually be able to influence that in any other way. We need to be aware of our rights and what we can demand and should expect from the operators, the airports, etc. But I think the attitude is the key here. I think a lot depends on the businesses that are running tourism. For example, the airports that should be way better prepared to handle crowds being stranded in the airports for a big number of hours.
But what kind of rights do we have as customers?
Sadly, the EU does not help us here. Uh, Several years ago, in 2004, I think, the EU has mandated that delays and cancellations, the last-minute cancellations, should meet with passengers' rights, such as free meals and free hotels, free accommodations, free change of our aircraft, and a compensation. This, however, excludes weather conditions because weather cannot be influenced or helped. So sadly, we are as passengers sort of at the mercy of the airlines and airport management. I think this is quite a big pressure to witness. The latest events in Modlin Airport show that the airport should have been better prepared to handle big crowds in such weather conditions. And I hope that this was a tough lesson from which the airport management, not only there but also in other places, will take a lesson.
But this seems to be a recurrent situation, right? Every now and then. So are we expecting any changes to the way airports are managed, for instance?
I think we should not expect any quick decision and changes when it comes to legal situation. I think when we look at a sort of way the passengers are handled in various airports, this might be something that airports will see as an advantage over other airports. If you look at Frankfurt has been through similar situations for much longer than Modlin and is much better prepared. They've got thousands of ready to set up beds, warm clothes for the needing tourists, etc., ready to be deployed. Unfortunately, the Polish airports have not seen that preparation, and I think this is the time and this is the lesson that they should take out of this situation for the future, because precisely as you said, it is not a one-time thing, and this will happen again.
Right, but do you think that severe winters will be taken into consideration? Because Poland is currently working on this massive project, Port Polska, massive infrastructure project. So do you think this will be taken into consideration in the planning phase of this new airport?
I think this is a very, very valid point, and absolutely this should be part of the planning. The airport planned is a massive, massive undertaking. It is a huge infrastructural and a complex project that should absolutely encompass situations like this one. especially that we're talking about one of the largest airports in this part of the world that is to be opened in several years. So hopefully the current management, after seeing what's going on outside the windows here in Warsaw, have or will take appropriate steps to remedy such situations in the future.
And looking at other European countries, which country would you name as the one that is perhaps best prepared?
For situations like this, I would say those that have faced such winter outbreaks more often than the others, and I'm looking at the northern Italy, Switzerland, Austria, and Germany. These would be my favorites when it comes to the best preparations. British airports are not so well prepared as they do not experience such, as we can see now on the screens, extreme conditions.
Right, so the bottom line, what should our viewers understand about this particular winter situation and how to be best prepared moving forward, perhaps those who are just planning to travel?
Absolutely. When planning to travel, always take into account that such situation may occur. Please come to the airport early, making sure that you can manage to get there on time. Looking at the traffic situation and road conditions, please pack a lot of patience with you. Do not think that everything will be handled immediately, especially in a situation where we're looking at thousands of people stranded. Not everybody can be helped immediately. So a lot of patience goes a long way. And always have at least a little bit of a backup plan to consider what is your plan B for a situation like that. Do not leave yourself without money. The airlines or airports will help out with the hotels. But if we see several thousand people stranded or tens of thousands of people stranded, not everybody will get the same kind of help. So be aware of that you may hope for that, but it will not be a guaranteed situation.
And what if we find ourselves stuck at the airport abroad? Whom shall we call? What are the first steps that we should take?
First of all, we should call the issuer of our ticket, and this is not always the case of airlines. It's my advice is always to buy tickets directly with the airlines. However, if you buy through an intermediary, you should be contacting the party that has sold you the ticket, that has issued the ticket, not necessarily the airline. The airline will not take any responsibility if you had bought the ticket through an intermediary. So have those numbers ready, keep them at hand in case of a situation like that. Then seek help with the airport, remembering that you're one of thousands who are in similar situation. So not always you will receive that help promptly.
Eryk Kłopotowski, Accountability in Action, thank you so much for joining us. Much appreciated. Have a good night.
Thank you kindly. Good night.
And thank you for watching World Talks. Please stay tuned for more here on TVP World.